Oh, what a glorious day outside. People getting outside, enjoying themselves. And you know something else that is glorious? If you finally have reached retirement. But then the question is, what's next? What do I do next? Well, thankfully on Mondays, we talk to Loren Merkle from Merkle Retirement Planning, and he can tell you what is next. Morning, Loren. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Lou. I'm doing wonderful, thank you. How are you doing?
We are doing outstanding. All right, so someone has reached that first marker. We're not going to call it a finish line. We're going to call it the marker of getting to retirement. Now, you're very happy. Next couple of days or a couple of weeks after that are very important, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And typically, this is a really important transition period because you've been working for a very long time, really most of your life up until this date. And that first week, maybe even first month, doesn't really feel like retirement. It feels more like a vacation. You know, you go on a week-long vacation, 2-week-long vacation. That's really what it feels like. So this is a transitional period to kind of let your mind transition into the reality of this is going to be this next phase of your life. And you're right, it's not a finish. This is really the start of a new phase that's really exciting. You've been planning for it. You've been thinking about it. And now here's the time that you have that you've never had before, and it's time to take advantage of it.
Now, people have to realize this is not going to happen overnight. There are some people that are geared and wired differently. It's going to take, it could be taking a little time to adjust, right?
For many people, their career has become their identity. So
Right.
there's a time management type of shift where now you have a lot more time. There's a lot less structure. There's a lot less organization around your day. And now you have to kind of find the new self, a new identity. And that process is a little bit different for everybody. So really hopefully now that you've retired, you already have your plan in place. You know where your income's coming from. You know how much income you can receive. So now it's about finding the new you and really working on your new phase and your new self and what's going to fill that time and trying to put some kind of real structure or organization around what your days are going to look like. The people who make this transition the most successfully, that's where they start. That's where they focus. This is what I'm going to do when I wake up. Here's where I'm going to find new meaning in my life. Here's where I'm going to find fulfillment. Here's where I can make an impact on my family, my grandkids, my local organizations, or the city that I live in, and just really put some new meaning into what this next life is really going to look like for you.
Now, it sounds like you just need to start taking control of some of the things that you now have control over, like maybe some rollover or employer plans.
Well, yes, with the employer plans, for most people, this is where most of their retirement money is. And so now it's a matter of taking control over it. As long as it's underneath the old employer plan, anytime that employer makes a change to their plan, which does happen frequently, many times we're seeing employers shift custodians from ABC custodian to XYZ custodian. That has an impact on your money. So take control over it. In most cases, there are some exceptions to that rule, but in most cases, you want to take control over it. You have a better idea of what kind of investment options you can invest in. Most retirees want to have some conservative options underneath their investments. Outside the employer plan, you have a lot more options as far as what you can choose amongst for those conservative investments. And then again, you don't have to worry about what the old employer is doing with their plan. Your money is in your name, your control, and it's easier to deliver that income on an ongoing basis as well.
And that's where you can start making those adjustments to some of those investment plans that you have, so you have more income coming in.
But yeah, life is always changing. The environment's always changing. The economy is always changing. Legislation is always changing. So it's not a set it and forget it. In the accumulation years, when you were 30 years old, you could just set it, forget it, keep putting money in every pay period. In the retirement years, it needs to be more actively engaged in, meaning that you're going to have an income bucket. The last thing that retirees want to have happen is the stock market blow up by 30% and then have your retirement lifestyle blow up by 30%. And the best way to prevent that from happening is to make sure you have a really structured portfolio with intentions around each one of the buckets. And one of the most important buckets that you want to focus on in your retirement is that income bucket. So regardless of what the market is doing, you make sure you have your income coming in so you can still enjoy that time with the new meaning that you have found in your life.
All right, Loren, tell everybody about your workshop coming up on Wednesday up in Ames.
Yeah, this is really exciting. This is Medicare workshop, Lou. So we're going to talk all about Medicare. If you really, since the time you turn age 64, your mailbox gets bombarded with all these Medicare ideas and solutions. So we're going to make it real simple, and we're going to talk about Medicare, some of the different options you have, things to look out for. Very simple to sign up for it. Go to merkleplan.com. You can sign up for it. It's complimentary. And again, it's in Ames, and it starts at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. merkleplan.com.
Loren Merkle, thank you as always. We'll talk to you next week, my friend.
Great to see you, Lou. Have a great week.
All right, bye now.